Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel Traxler. I am a wedding photography and photography business coach helping other photographers grow their business. And I am here weekly delivering photography education for you. So if you are new here, make sure you like and subscribe so I can deliver you weekly videos to help you grow your photography business. And if you are new here, make sure you follow me on Instagram and all the other social media platforms, and all that information is in the description. So let's dive into it. Today, we're going to be talking about 3 reasons why you might not be getting inquiries. And I love looking at this because there are so many reasons that you might not be getting the inquiries. But then once you do get the inquiries, what do you do? But today we're going to be talking about why maybe you are not getting them and some things that you can do to help you get them. So, number one is you aren't clearly communicating who you are, what you do, who you serve, and how you serve them, and how you are different. This is such a big thing that I see all of my students, every single one of my students that have come into my program, they come into the program and they have not done this and they don't have this clearly laid out. And then by the end of our time together, they have it all laid out and it helps them attract exactly who they're speaking to. It helps elevate your brand too, because when you don't know who you're speaking to, you're not speaking to anybody. And I also think that's the biggest difference that sets apart someone who is worth high value is that you are clearly communicating what you do, who you serve, who you are for, why you're different, why your approach is different, why someone should directly feel attracted and compelled to book you. You want someone to come across to your website, your Instagram, meet you in person and say, I need to book her for photography. I need to book him for photography. I need to book this person for photography, basically. And not everybody has that. It might seem simple and it might sound like something you've heard before, but are you actually doing it? Because all my students that come to me haven't done it before. And I think that's a beautiful thing because that's the first thing we do is lay that foundation and set that solid foundation. And then anything you learn from there, you build off of and you circle back to that. And everything else is so easy because when you learn these new strategies, we just circle it back and relate to that foundation of your brand, of who you are, what you do, who you serve, how you are different. You want that instant identity and brand identity to separate you from someone else and also be able to just stand out more in like a saturated market of what people call. I think it all comes down to your communication, your copy, and how you are portraying the experience that you provide. So, number one, I think that you need to make sure you're clearly communicating all of those things in your copy, in your Instagram, on your website, in person, and that also you're communicating it, but also that it makes sense and it clicks with people. So if someone meets you in real life, it makes sense for them and it clicks for what your online presence is of what you are in person. Because as soon as that clicks, that's going to build that brand trust. If it doesn't make sense, it instantly breaks that brand trust and people feel uncomfortable or unsure. And so that is another really big, important reason why you want this and you want to build that strong so that when you meet your clients in person to shoot their session or to shoot their wedding, they already feel like they know you. And when it matches, they can fully trust you and let their guards down and just be able to have way better session, way better photos, all because of that. And it all comes back on you. So that's just a tiny sliver of what client experience can look like as far as your copy and communicating all of that. And then number two of why you might not be getting inquiries is that you don't have a solid marketing funnel. Meaning, if you're focusing on trying to find new clients all the time, that's what I hear. How do I find new clients? How do I find ideal clients? How do I attract ideal clients? Kind of these buzzwords, right, in the industry. And what people forget is that they're focusing so much on lead generation that it's not really working for when they do get those leads, that they're not funneling people, their clients, through a solid system, a solid sales funnel, a solid initial inquiry workflow inside a seamless experience from booking to delivering their gallery. So they're focusing on funneling all these people and lead generation that they don't have anywhere to funnel people, or they just don't have a solid funnel on the back end. And so I think that's a huge problem because also when you don't have that, you can't communicate it. Like we were talking about with point number one, you can't communicate the value of what you're providing and what your process looks like and why your process is different and how it's different from someone else's and why they need what you have to offer through your unique approaches and methods and your experience and what you deliver to people, why that's different. why people need it, people aren't going to want to come in, or they're not going to realize, why should I book this person to shoot my wedding or to take my photos when they're just the same as everyone else, except for their prices are higher? You really have to match and value the price that you're providing. And that's, I think, a big thing too, as people tap into that next level of clientele, they forget to bring everything else along with them, or they're focusing so much on one thing where it really takes all of those things to kind of elevate and match your price. And I think by having a solid funnel that you can communicate people in, then once you do get clients, you don't have to worry about them, because you know you're going to be giving them an awesome client experience from top to bottom, because you've done the work, you've laid the foundation out ahead of time, that you do have more time to focus on lead generation versus anything else, because you've done the work up front and you know that once you get people in, they're going to have an awesome experience. So a reason of why you might not be getting inquiries from that is that you don't have a funnel. You don't have a sales funnel. You don't have a marketing funnel, and you don't have that solid experience funnel built out on the back end so that you can focus on bringing more inquiries in that way. So that might be something to look at too. And then number 3, you might be putting all of your marketing eggs into the social media basket. And what I mean by that is you might be putting all of your time and energy into social media, thinking that that's where you're going to get inquiries, thinking that's where you need to put most of your time to, when in reality, this is so different for everybody. And I actually recently took a huge social media break, unintentional. I did a podcast episode about that. I'll link in the description below. But what happened was, I took a break from social media. I actually was able to book, I got way more inquiries than normal. I was able to book 2 5-figure weddings. I had my biggest income generating month ever. And this was all while I just wasn't showing up on social media. And I think that's the big power in having other marketing funnels and other marketing avenues besides relying just on social media to help bring in inquiries into your business. Because if you are just relying on social media, like, let's be real. There's going to be days you don't want to show up. There's going to be days you don't want to even post. There's days that I don't even want to open Instagram. I'm like, I just don't have the mental capacity to even open Instagram. We're human. So like, that's going to happen. There's going to be days where that happens. So knowing that you have other marketing funnels running for you on the back end, that you don't have to worry about it. If you wanted to push Instagram or social media aside for a week, it's not going to affect your business. And I think that was the biggest lesson for me when I took a break, to know the effort I'm putting into these other marketing strategies truly are paying off, because I'm getting these inquiries without even having to be present in that moment. And that is just the best feeling ever. So I highly suggest for you to look at your biggest lead generators. What are your biggest lead generators? If your biggest one is Instagram, if that's where you're getting the most of your leads, okay, what's the second one? Can I work on that second one to match that so it is number 1 for me, so I don't have to rely on Instagram all the time? And don't get me wrong, Instagram is the most beautiful free marketing and advertising tool. I love it. It's connected us all. It's connected me to so many people. It's been an absolute blessing in my business. Nothing against Instagram. And I've seen people be wildly successful, like wildly successful with social media and being consistent and posting like good converting content. So I'm not saying that that's not a thing. I like to teach my students how to run a business that's not reliant on social media, because let's be real, it's just kind of hard to keep up with, and things can change, and we don't own the platform. So it's kind of nice to have other ways that you can market your business that way. So I want you today for this video to sit down and make a list of your biggest lead generators from top to bottom. So is it Instagram? Is it vendor referrals? Is it client referrals? Is it Pinterest? Is it Google's SEO? Is it from your website? Where are you getting the most leads in for inquiries? And also, if Instagram is your number 1 top one, look at that second one and see how we can push that one to number 1, and see how we can help get more inquiries without feeling like you have to be tied to social media all the time. So to recap, the 3 things that you need to be doing to help you get more inquiries is, number 1, you need to be clearly communicating who you are, what you do, who you serve, and how you serve it. And number two, you need to be making sure that you have a solid marketing funnel on the back end to build that foundation. And number three is that you want to make sure you have other marketing strategies besides just social media. So I really hope that these three tips were helpful for you. If you found it helpful, make sure to click the links and resources down in the description. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to start be posting photography education videos every single week. So let me know what you thought in the comments. Let me know what questions you have or what videos you want me to cover next. But thank you so much for tuning in and listening today. Keep shining, and we'll see you next time.